think we need to remember that homelessness isn't something that happens overnight. It can happen overnight, but that's usually because of an emergency situation. It often takes years for somebody to get to a shelter because they've used up what many of us have and take for granted, and that's a network of support services. Most of these folks have used up their jobs, their savings, their insurance, even their friendship. And so when people come to us, they've usually stepped off the bottom rung of the ladder, so to speak.
I've seen people living under bridges, seen people living in bushes. I've seen the desperation of it, and it sometimes drives them to drink excessively because of their woes.
As a participant in Homeless and Hungry, the participant has the opportunity to take a walk in somebody else's shoes, because the donations and the money that we raise are going to run out. But the change that happens inside of the participant is what really matters, because their eyes are open to the problems of our society, and they realize that you have the power to make a difference.
To me, Homeless and Hungry means helping the community and just showing how much we actually care for our neighbors.
There's several ways you can participate. Of course, you could sponsor a participant in Homeless and Hungry. A company might also want to do donations, or individuals at companies might want to do donations. And of course, participating themselves.
There are lots of different ways a business in Fargo-Moorhead can help Homeless and Hungry. In our case, we're using our resources to help communicate the message. If other businesses would take a hard look at their own services that they offer, they could certainly offer those to help Homeless and Hungry.
What's really exciting for me personally is seeing the number of young people who have come forward and want to do something about this problem called homelessness. Unless homelessness impacts you directly, or a family member or a friend, it's not something that people usually think about or really care about.
For me, it's a responsibility I feel like I have for other people, because there are other people who are going to bed hungry. And I don't think that anyone deserves to go to bed hungry. And I don't think that anyone deserves to stay on the streets in a box. I don't understand why I should get a house and I should get a meal 4 times a day and somebody else should suffer.
Our family's been involved with the Homeless and Hungry program. After the first event, my son and I were driving down the street in Fargo, and we saw a homeless man on a corner. He was holding a sign up stating that he was hungry. And as we drove by, my son Matt said, "Dad, we got to do something. We got to get this man some food." So we went through a drive-through, came back, gave the man the food. He was extremely grateful. As we drove away, I looked in my rearview mirror, and he sat down immediately, opened the bag, and started eating. Before Homeless and Hungry, we wouldn't have stopped. Because of this program, we stop now.
Every person who is fed, who is hungry, every person who is given lodging, who doesn't have a place to escape the elements, someone who's given decent clothing to deal with the cold up here in the north, or clothes for the kids to be able to go to school, that's a success.
It's been very therapeutic for me to help in the campaign, not only to help myself, but to help others around me that I see are affected by Homeless and Hungry.
When we were giving out blankets and canned foods to homeless people in the area, I saw a homeless woman that came in, and she just showed me, you know, it's real, we're helping people. This is more than just something I have to do for church. I want to do this to help people like her.
And there were these 3 little boys, and they showed me this big bag, and I'll never forget this. They showed me this big bag of McDonald's toys that they had just gotten because one of them had a birthday. And he was like the happiest boy in the world because he had this little figurine, something that I would have looked through my cupboards and thrown out because it wasn't important. You know, not even important enough to give to the local shelter. But to him, it was like his only treasure. This is why I'm doing this, you know? It's because there are people who need our help. And some of them are 4 years old, and all they want is a little toy from McDonald's.
created such a strong bond. We were doing something that was very difficult to do and not something we were used to, and really formed a greater connection.
Any age group can do it. I've seen kids as little as 3 to grandmas who do it. Families do it. It doesn't matter how old you are, you can do it.
What Homeless and Hungry is really about is changing it from, oh, it's so sad that some people are hungry, to, I love this person and so I'm going to help them.
I think everyone should be involved with Homeless and Hungry. It's life-changing. You just don't look at the homeless situation in your own community the same way.
The biggest thing is that if you feel that people care, it gives you, personally, gives you hope.